Welcome to Beyond the Headlines on the WMBD Plus app, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. I'm Cameron Main.
And I'm Austin Feeman. Today we'll be going over some topics discussed at last night's Peoria City Council meeting. That includes an update on the Expo Garden deal and also an update on the Glen Hollow Shopping Center.
We're also going to get a sneak peek of a feature story we are doing on our website, ciproud.com, where we take a deeper look into local haunted houses. Our first big local story of the day puts our very own Austin in the hot seat first. We're talking about what was decided at last night's City Council meeting regarding the Expo Gardens in Peoria and what happened in the courtroom today. Austin, so what's with this Expo Garden deal? What's happening?
Yeah, so last night at the City Council meeting, Peoria City Council approved an additional $875,000 to purchase the Expo Gardens property.
So a lot more money.
Yes, a lot more money. This is on top of the $1.1 million that was approved back in June. Now, this money was approved. They voted on it. It was an 8-2 vote with Alex Carmona and Dennis Sear opposing the purchase, but yeah, basically this is giving the city about $2 million to purchase the Expo Garden property for whatever they feel.
And so what happened in the courtroom today during the sheriff's sale then?
Yeah, so during the sheriff's sale this afternoon, there was basically it was very boring. Not much happening. It was very quick. Basically, there was an opening bid. It was $1,201,099. After that, there was one more bid, and they added $1.
Oh.
So, and that was the final bid. So Peoria, the city of Peoria has purchased the Expo Garden property for $1,201,100. They purchased it from the Morton Community Bank, which were the owners at the time after it was foreclosed. Basically, this will all be official once the paperwork goes through. You know, they had the down payment, they had everything that they needed to purchase the property. They only spent about 60% of what they planned, which gives them a lot of extra money, which it might be in the air. What are they going to use this money for? But Urek told me that they are going to be using the rest of this money, the extra like 800 or so thousand, for land acquisition, property development, and future housing for the city.
So what does the general timeline look for, are they going to develop it? What are they going to do with the land now that they kind of have it?
Yeah, so the plan is to turn the Expo Garden property into around 200-ish single-family homes. Now, there's been the request for the proposal or the qualifications will be issued in the next 3 to 4 months, so they're able to start that process. But we won't be seeing homes built there for the next 2 to 3 years. It just takes time to coordinate with developers and whatnot. Again, there's no official start date for this entire process. They're just in the beginning stages trying to figure everything out. But the plan is to build a bunch of single-family homes.
Okay, so just a bunch of housing, trying to improve the housing in Peoria.
Of course.
It's the general goal with it. Thank you so much, Austin, for breaking it down. Appreciate it. And, pretty interesting. The deal fell through, proved some more money, and they seem to have it now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, well, check this out. Hamburger Helper is lending a hand at the breakfast table. We're talking about 4 new morning meals that feature hash browns. They include farmhouse, cheesy, Southwest style, and sausage. Most of the 4-ounce boxes contain 4 servings. You can also snag 2 new on-the-go microwave breakfast cups. The new line of products is available at Kroger and Walmart.
Now, Cameron, I love Hamburger Helper. It's one of my favorite things. Do you know what Hamburger Helper is?
I have never seen this in my life.
Hamburger Helper is it's amazing. Basically, it's just a box of noodles, and all you do is you cook up like a pound of ground beef, and then you pour the rest of the box in there, and then you have dinner.
Oh, okay. So it's just like a quick dinner. It's like a frozen meal kind of thing.
Kind of, but it's completely dry, so it's in a box. I absolutely love, they have a cheeseburger mac and cheese one.
So those deals sound pretty good to you,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the new combos that they have?
I would say so, and the breakfast ones sound phenomenal. I would definitely be trying them.
I will have to say my nose has been so itchy since we started the show. I have been holding back from itching my nose so badly. But maybe I'm smelling the hamburgers, you know, that smell's coming in. I'm like, ooh, what's that?
Yeah. Well, do you have anything like Hamburger Helper in Australia?
I don't think so. I've always stayed away kind of from the frozen food section, but when I was in the pro gaming house back in the day, we had to have a lot of frozen meals because
Yes.
our owner would cook for us,
Yes,
which was a weird setup.
Yeah, I think or Hamburger Helper is an American thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They seem to have taken it and run with it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I mean, hamburgers, America, that's kind of what America's known for.
yes.
All right, when we come back on Beyond the Headlines, I'll be in the hot seat. We are continuing our conversation on what happened at City Council, and we'll have an update on the Glen Hollow Shopping Centre when we come back.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Now it's Cameron's turn. Another big local story of the day. The Peoria City Council held a public hearing on a proposed Glen Howell sales tax. Cameron Main is now in the hot seat now to explain what this is all about. So Cameron, what is the proposal?
So basically, the Glen Hollow sales tax is this idea to allow the City Hall to add a 1% sales tax, an additional 1% sales tax to the Glen Hollow shopping district area. That's where Target is, Lowe's, kind of in the Peoria area, if you've ever been there before. The main reason they're doing it is the property owners would like it, and it helps that the money would go to the property owners to help redevelop the site, maybe make it a bit nicer, maybe even buy a new property, maybe incentivize people to move their businesses there. Whole host of reasons, but the basic gist of the idea is like, hey, put this tax on, see if we can actually, you know, it's only a 1% tax, even though that would make it like a 9.75% sales tax total in that area. So I think, I'm not sure of the exact number. I think it is I think Peoria has like a 9% sales tax. Maybe someone could fact check me on that one. But it is already a relatively high sales tax. So basically, that is just the general gist of the proposal.
Yeah, so then what happened at this hearing?
So basically what we really saw was when they have something like this, they need to have a public hearing. It's a state law to basically do this. And so the Glen Hollow, anyone from the public could talk about this. They could come up to City Hall and be like, I don't like this, I do like this, blah, 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 blah. And only two speakers really came up in the public hearing. They were like, hey, if you do this, I only go to Glen Hollow for Target and Lowe's. And if you change this, I'm going to go to Target and Lowe's in East Peoria, because then it will have a lower sales tax. I'd be saving money each time I go there, even though it's a longer trip, even with spending gas. It's such a small cost compared to what they would save. That was their argument. So it seemed like a lot of people were not for the sales tax. There weren't any proponents, and there were only two people that came up to an opposition of it, and then there were no more speakers.
All right, well, is there anything else that we need to know about this sales tax that might be important?
Well, mainly just that it hasn't been approved yet. It's actually not. They haven't voted to approve it yet. They've only had the hearing. They've only voted to approve the hearing, and the councillors and the mayor, they can start considering putting it on their agenda and go like, hey, maybe this is the right direction to go. Maybe we approve it. Maybe we put it up for a vote, and maybe it doesn't pass. Whole host of things could happen from now. But as for now, the public hearing's done. It's finished. We've heard our things from the public, and now it's just really what's going to happen next. And we don't really know if they're still going to actually, you know, the assumption is they're going to hear it, but that is, again, is an assumption.
Yeah. All right, Cameron, well, thank you very much for breaking that down for us.
No problem.
Well, listen to this. A new report says a growing number of people are taking advantage of complimentary breakfast buffets. That is, even if they are not guests of the hotel.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. Allegedly, there are Reddit threads and TikTok videos of people bragging about walking off the street and getting a free meal. They say the trick is to choose a mid-level hotel, nothing too fancy. Now, establishments are warning those that this is illegal, although it is unclear how it is enforced.
Okay, so this cheat, this life hack basically is to commit buffet fraud.
Robbery, yeah, robbery.
Yeah, this is like insane. They just walk in and they eat the food and they go out. I agree. I'm not a lawyer, but that does seem relatively illegal to do that.
You know, I have had an experience with someone I know who has accidentally, well, we'll say accidentally,
Oh, okay.
stolen some buffet breakfast from a hotel. We were there for an event and they were hungry, so they went and they got their breakfast, right? And I didn't partake. I was not hungry at the time, and I just sat and waited. But then at the end of their meal, you know, the manager came up and handed them a bill, and it was about $80. So yeah, it was crazy. I was like, wow, I didn't know hotel breakfast was so expensive, and now I understand why people are.
Yeah, no, they are pretty expensive, and that's kind of the whole gist. You know, you go to the hotel, you get the breakfast voucher for cheap, and then maybe you're like, oh, we don't have time for breakfast. Oh, I don't feel like Macca's, McDonald's. You know. They're like, oh, well, gotta get the breakfast. And it's like, well, you didn't do the voucher, so you got to pay big bucks.
Of course. All right. Well, we've got one more local story for you when we return on Beyond the Headlines. We're sitting down with our digital reporter, Christopher Hueslig, to get an inside peek into a local haunted house. We'll be right back.
Ooh. Welcome back. Now it's time to get into some spooky stories. We're getting back into the Halloween conversation. Haunted houses will soon be opening all over Central Illinois.
Our digital reporter, Christopher Hueslig, visited one this morning and joins us now to explain the ins and outs of what goes on during an inspection. Excuse me, Christopher, welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, welcome on to the
Glad to be here.
Beyond the Headlines.
You guys make me feel underdressed, but okay.
So, where did you go to see the inspection today?
Yeah, I got to go down to Aura Haunted House in Bartonville, where it is located where the old Peoria State Hospital used to be. So just, yeah, it was kind of a nice little spot, kind of out in the middle of
What's its
nowhere.
spooky rating?
Oh, the lights were on. Christopher does not do scary.
Really? Okay.
No.
So even with the lights on, it was.
Oh, it looked good. If I were a spooky person, I'd be really excited because
Yeah.
it looked good. I got to walk around and see everything. So.
But you do not like haunted houses.
No.
So it was good that you were actually assigned to this story.
Oh yeah.
Well, we can send you there when it gets to nighttime. If you
no,
want it.
no,
No,
I'm good,
it's
I'm
no. It can be your story.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of haunted houses either, so I'll be over there with you.
So why do they do the inspections, and what are they looking for?
Yeah. So the Illinois Department of Labor said in a release they had sent us that some fires in the 70s and 80s, they called them tragic fires, kind of upped the security and the safety protocols because I mean, as anyone who's been in a haunted house. They can be kind of crowded. There's lots of ways. It's dark. There's smoke. So the Illinois Department of Labor at some point was just like, hey, there needs to be safety guidelines for these because
Right.
while people like to be scared and that's fun for some people for some reason, safety is also important. If something were to happen, there needs to be protocols in there. So pretty much is that they decided that, and then so I got to walk around with Brian Fox. He's the carnival manager, is what they call them, of the Illinois Department of Labor, and he kind of showed me what they were looking for. So things like smoke detectors, he checked their smoke detectors. They were working just fine. Any props have to have a fire retardant spray on them. So if a fire were to, say, break out, the props won't catch on fire or shouldn't as easily. They, like down in Aura, they had a lot of things made of metal. So like the wall had like sheet metal instead of like pallets or they had like
Right.
metal railings instead
Something a
of.
bit more fireproof.
Yeah, so that way, say if something does happen, that's one less thing they have to worry about. And so say one of the props does somehow catch on fire with that fire resistant material, it won't burn fast enough or hot enough that they'll be able to get it out and get it. And then they also showed me some other safety features, like doorways that are labeled with reflective, so when firefighters go in, they know this door leads outside, this door leads to another room in the building. Most of it is like fire safety stuff, that making sure people aren't going to trip if something happens. So yeah, and then also they talked about how it is important to make sure all haunted houses in Illinois have to have a permit from the Department of Labor.
Right.
And so those are always put up on the doors where it was at Aura. So when you walked in, it was right there. And if you can't see it, you just can ask them. And if they're a 501c3, some of those are exempt, so you can ask for their exemption papers.
Very quickly, what can people do if they do see a safety issue? in
Yeah,
a
so
haunted house?
our story on ciproud.com does have the phone number you can call, or you can also visit the Illinois Department of Labor's website, and you can report anything that is unsafe or if you don't see a permit.
All right, sweet. Thank you so much, Christopher, for
Thank
breaking that
you.
down. Well, check this out. Starting next year, robot umpires will be involved in Major League Baseball games. The MLB 11-man competition committee approved the use of the ABS, the automated ball strike system. Games will still have human umpires who will call balls and strikes. However, with ABS, teams can challenge 2 calls per game and get additional appeals in extra innings. Reviews of a controversial call will be shown as digital graphics on an outfield video board.
Very interesting. Now, I'm not a huge sports person, but baseball is one of those sports that I do enjoy. So, this is very interesting to me. This is very
So
interesting.
do we know what the robots look like?
It's not an actual robot.
Are you sure it's not a
no.
walking robot?
No, they've tested them in spring training, and the batter taps his helmet or something when he wants a review, and
Oh,
it'll
okay,
just
that's kinda
and
handy.
I think it replays something to the umpire that says ball or strike, and then he fixes it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'm kind
yeah.
of old school when it comes to umpiring. I like that human aspect.
Even if they make mistakes.
But I do get it. You want to call it as clean of a game as you can. So I mean.
Well, when they were saying robot, I was thinking like the Terminator was going to be
That's what I
showing
was
up
thinking.
in the field.
No. It's just your umpire's still there. It's just it's an automated system that's.
He goes like foul ball.
That would be something. I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of creepy.
It would be.
That's
Very
almost
interesting game of baseball.
That's almost
would be.
scarier than a haunted house.
But it would be really funny to just hear that off in like Wrigley Field or something like that. It'll be like, yeah.
Oh, that would be very, very interesting.
Yes.
So, as if baseball wasn't interesting enough.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And I think as well with the robot side of things, there's so many things with AI robots. They're just adding things into everything right
Oh,
now. And
yeah.
sometimes I'm like, oh, is this going to work? Because sometimes the things don't work.
That's
so
very
hopefully
true.
that is
Technology not working? No.
No.
What are you talking
Never.
about?
so hopefully it doesn't go like, oh, we can't do this. Anyway, thanks for joining us for today's Beyond the Headlines. You can find all these stories and more over on our website, ciproud.com. Have a great night, guys.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.